How's it going, everybody? My name is Absoulem and welcome back. This is part 18 of my full platinum walkthrough for Hollow Knight's Silksong. Today's video is going to be the last exploration chapter. We are going to set ourselves up for the endgame of Act 2. We're going to finish up the melody here and enter a new area called High Halls. We're going to progress some more NPC quest lines and set ourselves up for some secret boss fights. And also dip our toes into bilewater and splish splash around into the poisonous swamp and just have some fun there. Just a good old day in the sun, you know? Everybody's favorite place. So we have a lot of stuff to do today, like always, and it's gonna be a fun chapter today because it's gonna basically finish up everything we need to do storyline-wise for Act 2, and then we're gonna spend the next 2 chapters finishing up all the requirements for Act 2, all the wishes, the everything basically. Because once we start Act 2's finale, it's the point of no return, and you miss a lot of stuff if you haven't been keeping up. So today's chapter, we're gonna be setting the ball on the tee, and then we're gonna knock it out over the next couple chapters, and then by part 21 we should be moving into the secret Act 3, so that's kind of the plan here. Looking forward. But anyways, let's get today's video started with, of course, our foreshadowing quote brought to us by Beethoven, who said that music can change the world, and I'm sure he had Silksong in mind, so let's go change the world for Beethoven. So we left off here in Bellheart, so we're gonna immediately leave Bellheart and go back to the first shrine. Now, today's video is the last video that we're going to be buying things from the world, like bellways and maps and all of that sort of thing. So, from after this chapter, you should start saving your beads for the actual shops. So it's kind of cool. We're going to be getting 4 trophies today. A lot of finishing the collectible type trophies today, like the fleas and the bellways, the ventrica stations, all that. So a lot of stuff like that. So don't worry, you're not gonna have to spend beads like crazy anymore. Now it's just gonna be spending it on whatever shop items you have left. So that's pretty cool. Like for example, I think we have just these 3, and then I've got a couple items at each shop. But I think I'm done with the Forge Daughter, Pilgrim's Rest. Yeah, we're done with the early game ones. I think I just have the Blasted Steps, Bellheart, and First Shrine, I believe, are the only shops I have left. But you should probably be similar if you've been following along. But anyways, today's the last exploring chapter, so we're gonna be done with just mindlessly spending a fuck ton of beads for no reason. You guys notice how our upgrade has gotten it to where we can kill these guys faster? Exciting stuff. Look at that. We have a gold blade now. If you did it from last chapter, you'll have the gold blade. So we are pretty upgraded right now. Yeah, before we actually do this section, I want to point out for anyone that maybe hasn't followed perfectly along, we freed an NPC in Sinner's Road, the Green Prince. Using the simple key, we freed him from the cage in that area, and then we've reset the world at this point, and we should have met him next to Citadel Spa. If you've been following along, you've probably already met him at Citadel Spa. But before you go and do what I'm about to do and go to Upper Cogworks, I would just, if you're worried about that, maybe backtrack to Citadel Spa. If you take the Ventrica station and travel to the Coral Chambers, it'll put you just below the spa. So just go up, and then that hallway on the map, when you see directly to the left of the word Citadel, there's that long hallway. He'll be in the halfway point of that hallway, basically where that shaft that goes up and down over that hallway, he's just to the left of that. So if you're worried and you don't remember talking to him over there, then maybe just backtrack, make sure he's not there, and if he is there, talk to him. If he's not, then you've probably already done it, because he's going to spawn for a 3rd time over in Cogworks once we're done. So definitely make sure that you've progressed his storyline if you're a little concerned about that. Now, if you remember doing it, then great. We'll get him again here after this. I definitely want to remember. I just wanted to point that out because I know not everybody's followed along exactly. Now, we should have opened up this gate right here, but if you had chose to opt out of the obstacle course earlier in the walkthrough, now is the time. You'll have to go you know, down and then loop back around, go all the way to the bottom of the room and then all the way back up the right side, and then you'll be able to get to this platform and open up the gate right here. But if you chose to do the obstacle course back in like part 11 or whatever it was, then that will be open already. Which is why I did it later or earlier in the game, because we already have enough obstacles in this chapter. We don't need to make it harder on ourselves. So once you make it to this point, and you know you've talked to the Green Prince, and you know you've got the path open, now you're all caught up. We can lower this shortcut down, which is kind of nice. We don't have to go down and around now. We can just go back up. So that's kind of nice. And then we're going to open up the upper cogworks. This is a similar area to the lower cogworks, where basically it's a bunch of gears and an obstacle course. This one's cooler though. I'll show you the normal route, but just so you know, there are many ways you can go about this. Like you can bounce on the gears like that, you know. So there's a lot of ways to like bounce off the gears and do whatever you got to do. But in this area, we're going to be farming the enemies and finishing out these enemies in the journal. Okay, all right. You know what? I get it. But let me go to that section. There's not too many enemies. Right here. Okay. So it starts with the cogwork underfly. So we need a couple more of those. We need a couple more of everything pretty much. And it's going to go all the way to the cogwork dancers. So you should be able to farm all of these in this area. And once we're done with this melody section, we are going to stay back and make sure we farmed all the enemies. Because at this point in the game, every time I visit a new zone, we will finish out the journal just so we don't have to keep coming back. So we are closer to the journal being done than you think. Or everything that we can get in Act 2. We're closer than it might seem. So by this point, if you've been dying a lot too, I bet you're really close. Ooh, I almost got lucky and got both of them right there. Let's see if I can get the valve at the same time as fighting. Almost. That would have been really cool. That'd been cool. Actually, I feel like it's harder to do like what they want you to do versus like whatever way you can actually figure out how to do it. Oh my, I just totally missed the pogoing on that enemy. This is probably as close as we're getting to the gears of Path of Pain in this game. The hardest platforming section of the game is the secret ending, so that'll be like one of the last things we do pretty much. But in terms of like base game, it's nothing like insane. Like there's definitely no like Path of Pain equivalent in this game, but there's a lot of like mini Path of Pains, if you will. But I really, for like the sake of the difficulty, I hope that they added DLC like they did for Hollow Knight, where they added Path of Pain. Because I really love, like, once you get good at all the mechanics and you've done everything you can do in the game, I really love that extra added challenge that, like, people, to this day, people still play Path of Pain trying to be better at it. Like, there's no area in this game that's going to make people grind like that, you know? So I hope, wow, it just happened. I hope for the sake of the players, we get something like just sheer insane like that. Gotcha. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will add something at some point. Okay, so this is a melody wall. Obviously, right? I mean, come on. If that's not a melody wall, I don't know what is. So we have to match these shapes here. So it's not, I don't know if it's like in an exact order, but what you want to do is like see how like now this and the next block they match. We want all the lines to be connected. So If you want to just copy exactly what I'm doing, you know, just match them up, then feel free. I think it's the same for everybody, but if not, you know, just line up the stuff. And if that doesn't work, just keep hitting it until it works, you know? There we go. Okay. So yeah, it'll like go away once you've done it, right? That other one looked like it was correct, but I guess it was a little less correct. These lights are here if you'd like. So let's work on this one. Looks like it's kind of already in place. Yeah, I don't think that's right. All right. There we go. Boom. Let's see. This one looks like you want to be like that. I feel like that's what it's telling me in my head. Actually, no, that's not what it's saying. Damn, what are you? All right, this is what it's actually talking. I can hear it. It's calling out to me. It's saying, make it this. See, I told you. It's just a sixth sense, you know? Gosh, let's get some light over here. Can't see what we're doing. Can I knock it off? Oh my god. Oh my god, I did. Oh, I freed him. Okay. Alright, so that one's gonna be like that. Just obviously. Alright, now this one. Boom. We did it. Now just wait right here. Now how am I supposed to replicate that? I'm not a choir. God, it's our recital. I hope my parents are watching in the audience. Oh, there's little Hornet mom and dad. They made it. You know, dad doesn't typically show up to these kind of things, so finally came out to our recital. It's cool. All right. Yeah, little known lore fact. Hornet has a. Never mind. Never mind. I'm gonna stick to my own thoughts. Anyways, let's see. So now we have one more melody right over here. So first we're going to drop down. And on your way back down, farm the enemies if you can. And I'm gonna check. Okay, so these cogwork defenders, it's actually faster to farm them right here, right? So what I do is I get the one that's like right there. And because it takes like a minute to get back up this way, right? What I do is basically I just farm this guy. And then to reset it, you can just come like this. And then you can get these kind of kills too along the way. Oh, no. So just going up here, it will reset that enemy, and now you can farm all those little guys again. So like, I've got those spike ones done. It's these that take the most work, the cogwork crawlers. So because you fight a couple of them along the way, it's fine. But yeah, definitely get the big guy done, and then we'll be able to speed it up once we go back down. Otherwise, you're gonna have to like keep going all the way down and all the way back up. So what do I need on those guys? Yeah, 2 more. All right, so I'm gonna cut to when I'm done with that farm. Okay, so now I have finished farming the cogwork defenders, and along the way you kind of make some progress on some of the other guys. But now I'm gonna go back down to the bottom area where there's actually more of the other enemies. So get whatever you can along the way. Ooh, hang on. And then I'll show you the farming method in case you don't remember. So drop down here. And then hit this bench real quick. That's going to fill in the upper area. And now what we can do is just drop down here and get whatever kills you need. So pretty much everything is either on this lower part or above part. So I'm going to cut to when I'm done farming all of these enemies, and I'll go over, what that is. Okay, so I have finished farming everything except for the cogwork underflies, which that's actually located, there's a couple spots, but the main one would be like kind of where the bellway, the stage is and all of that. There's those, if you remember right to the right of the stage, there's that stretch where there's like 6 of those flies in that little gear room. You've ran by it many times at this point, so you probably already have it farmed up, honestly, but if not, that's where they are. They're around the map all over, but I'll of course, when we get to the end of Act 2, I'll be going over every location for every item. So, if you're missing this as well, don't worry about it. We'll go over that in a later video. But right now, the main thing you want to farm up are the ones right here. So from cogwork crawler over to those 3, and then obviously the up to the dancers there. So get all those finished up, and then now we can move on to our actual path of the storyline. So you should have all of cogwork core done. And then this path to the left here. So we actually came here earlier to open up a shortcut, but now with our double jump and all, we can get up that way. So go up again, break that, and go ahead to the left here and grab the shard bundle. And then this is going to be a secret boss in this game. But if you remember, we've been solving those puzzles over the map, and we have the cog heart now. So we've collected 3 of those matching memory games with the bells. If you've done all 3, then you should have the cog heart. It just automatically assembles once you get all 3. The Memoriam has one of those puzzles, and then there's one in Whispering Vaults, and I'm sure. Oh yeah, it's the Coral Chambers area, like on the left side of, kind of above Citadel Spa. So there's 3 of them around. You should have all of them at this point, and we have the heart. So that's going to activate this boss. If you don't have that heart, don't break this open. Just wait till you get the heart, and then you'll be able to actually install the heart here. But if you do this correctly, and then if you go and meet the enemy in 4 different locations, well, you have to do it at least twice, but there's 4 spots, then you spawn in a special boss, which also is tied to a tool item, which is also tied to a wish item. So kind of important for the 100%er that you do this correctly. All right? So definitely get the heart first, then break open the tunnel here, or the tube, and then you can talk to the sentinel here. So if done correctly, it'll fly away and it'll tell you that it has its job to do. And that'll be it for now. And then going to the left is just whatchamacallit, that's the main path back to Coral. So it just loops back into Coral. So now we're going to go up. Feel free to talk to this person now that you've played the melody. And then here is, now that we've done the melody and we've done all the sentinel stuff, you should find the green prince right here. Again, if he's not here, that's because you didn't speak to him over in the spa area, so I would definitely go and do that, reload the area, and then he should still be here, but it's best to get it done beforehand. He's definitely a prominent NPC of this game. So exhaust his dialogue, and then let's continue on. Alright, so that's the like setup stuff, and then we are gonna go. Don't worry, we're getting rid of these guys by the end of the chapter. They will be no more. They're actually they're a sad story. I'll kind of go over the lore when we get there because it is an Easter egg. I'm sure some of you are interested in like what those guys are. Those like ghost ones that suck your silk out. They have some sad lore. So this area right here, we can't get to this door right here, but we will be opening it. But just remember that door. Let's see. Yeah, all right, we're continuing this way. All right, so I'm just trying to like make sure I say the right stuff at the right time because I'm trying to think of like what we've all done. Basically, this is like as far as we've gotten in terms of exploring Coral Chambers. If your map doesn't look 100% complete like mine, definitely go and do that first before we access this next area. So this is kind of like the final section of Coral. I actually really like this area. It drops a lot of beads. It has a lot of loot. It feels like an in-game area in terms of like rewards. And I like the look of it. Not to mention there's a water slide. Wow, that's never happened to me before. Oh shit, okay. Does Grendel steal your loot? I had no idea that was possible. I'm glad we got that on footage. I was wondering what he was doing there, but I was like, you know, surely it'll be nothing. I didn't realize he could steal your loot like that. That's crazy. There's supposed to be beads all right here, obviously with the chest. That's wild. I did not know that was possible. Huh. Well, hopefully Grindel doesn't do that. I wonder if he does that other places, or is that like a really rare Easter egg? Because I know in Hollow Knight they had things where like there's like a 0.01% chance you could meet the sign maker, and stuff like that. So I wonder if that was a rare thing, or if that's like because I did something, or what. Let me know if in the comments if that happened to you, because in all of my practice runs he never stole my loot like that. But at least we have it on video. I mean, that's cool. As much as I wanted those beads, like I'd rather see like a little rare interaction with Grindel. So anyways, that's cool. This is the high halls now. This is this top left corner here. Let's see, let me double check. Alright, so there's 2 new enemies in this area. This is one of them. Alright, so... And I'm going to show you my favorite part of this area, which is this. It's a water slide. And then you can go faster. And if you lose all your beads and stuff, they do drop at the bottom. Alright, so now we're going to go down first for the other new type of enemy. And go left, and there is some shards here. Shards are actually going to start to matter now because of tools. Like, we have good enough tools to where we can actually start to use our shards. Alright, we're going up for a spool fragment at the very top of this area. So this is the main path to the right, but we gotta go up here. Now this is a little tricky, this area. But if you die, don't worry. At least you get to farm those enemies over again. Make, you know, it that much faster than, you know what, we're gonna have to farm these enemies anyways, so. Treat it like that, like you're just making progress towards your journal instead of dying like an idiot. You know, it's the perspective, I think, is really what matters. It's tricky to fight like this, where if you fall, you really fall. I need a ring game. Man, that's weird. Oh, I missed it. There we go. Now we're almost there. So break the thing here, and this is the highest collectible in the game. Boom. Now that should be the second to last spool fragment. So the next one we get will unlock that trophy. That should be number 17 if you've kept up. Very satisfying fall, if you ask me. Alright, so now we're gonna go right. Hopefully Grindel doesn't steal all my beads again, because I'm trying to loot again. I like that our beads get nice and collected no matter what happens. I don't know if you like this area. No, I really like this area. I just find it fun. It seems like it looks more epic than it actually is. I think the only difficult part is really the enemies that you have to fight midair. But once they're done, I really like the, I don't know, like conveyor belt-esque stuff. All right, cool. Grendel didn't steal everything from us. So that's cool. We're gonna drop down and make sure we pull these. And those are gonna open up the spikes. All right, so now I'm gonna float like this. That's probably the best way to do it. Just go to the right. Boom. There is a secret room supposedly behind this wall, but nobody that I'm aware of has figured out how to get there. It's not clear if it's like been like patched out or what, but we know like there's like a hallway that goes upward, and so I'm curious if one day we'll figure that out as a community. There doesn't appear to be any items behind it, but I figured I'd at least like point it out. Let's come over here and build the cogfly tool for one construct tool. Would you like one construct? Thought they were called craft metals game. All right, cogfly. I love this tool. It's basically like little minions that follow you around and they kill stuff. It's great for just like running around the world. Like you can just quickly get stuff. Let's come over here. There's a secret room. And then also one of these enemies. So we have to farm these guys while we're here. So those are, they spawn over in this part of the journal. Where are they? There they are. Okay, giant drape mite. They're very rare in this game. They're only in like a couple spots, so that's one of them. I'm going to show you a better place to farm them. So in just a moment, we'll build the thing, get the shards. And now we are going to... Yeah, okay, now we're going to get the breakable wall to loop back around to the spawn. So just float. Oh, you got to pogo off those. Alright, so go left. That secret room I was talking about, it's like kind of on that whole right wall, that like from here up to where I was showing you. That's apparently where it is, and I'm curious if it's been solved or what, but there's no enemy or enemy or item that I'm aware of. Oh damn, he drowned. Why is that happening so much in my walkthrough? Everybody drowns. At least I didn't do it this time. Let's come over here, hit the breakable wall, and this is going to loop back to the very beginning. So come up here, and this is going to be where we're going to sit here and farm the great drape mites, or whatever they're called. So, yeah, I'm just gonna reset. We'll kill him, go back to the bench where I'm at right now, and then just run back and forth. So I'll show you just so you guys remember where I'm at, and then I'll cut to when I'm done. We only need a couple of them, so it shouldn't take too long. We are gonna face one more in the chapter, so if you want to get everything but one, that's fine too. Also, when you're starting off the run here, you can refill your thing every time, just in case you forgot. So that shortcut we broke open. It's just after this guy. So this is that shortcut. So there we go. So I'm just gonna reset at the bench until I have those guys done, which... Oh, actually, I only need one more, so... yeah, get it to where you just need one more, basically. That's all you need. And once you're done with that, we can drop over here and pick up the item, the Psalm cylinder. The reason we're not going to finish the farming is we are going to fight one more in a moment. So, I mean, feel free to finish the farm if you want, but definitely get the great drape mites progressed. And pick up the cylinder and break the wall. That's all we had to do right there. Alright, we're almost at the bottom here. Okay, so this is a big room for us. First of all, get the rosary string. And then you can hit this to bounce it off the wall if it's not pushed out. And this is going to despawn those, like, you know, ghost-looking mechanical ones that suck our silk out. And don't worry. Let me find them real quick. It's going to be this way. These guys, the claw maidens. You see how I need 3 more? I tested this to make sure 100% in my practice runs. Once we do this, it permanently despawns the claw maidens. But the good thing is it completes your journal. So, you know, I'll show you just so you can see it on my screen. I still have 3 left. I'm going to purposely not complete it. That being said, there are a lot in this room that you could probably farm anyways if you were just really paranoid about it. But, or make a backup save or something like that if you were worried about it. But right where these 2 water lines are, that's where the secret room is. It's a little tricky to get up there. But just stand between the water and just keep jumping and you'll find the wall. And then enter this room. It's a very well hidden room. And really creepy. Uh-oh. So I'm not gonna kill him. Break that wall up there. So again, I still have 3 left. I haven't killed anything yet. And before you break this, by the way, you can play your needling, and you'll get some extra lore about these people. Anyways, I'll let you do that if you want. These guys are the original, like, mechanical people in this world. But they were really poorly designed. So whenever they first came out, they needed silk to continue. And so this is their supply. And once we take out their supply, they despawn permanently in the world. But it's why they keep sucking out silk from us. And so I guess, yeah, they're kind of sad. They're like prototypes, basically. But now you'll see in the left corner there, it unlocks the Claw Maiden. So now my journal is complete. So that's exciting. And now we don't ever have to see one of those again. Give me the shards. So kind of a weird room. Alright, so now we're going to go down and get ourselves a trophy. First off, rest at the bench. And this is where we need to buy the whatchamacallit, the thing, and also the map. First off, let's get the trophy. So by accessing this, you should have the trophy unlocked. So make sure you have all of the ones you see on my screen. If you don't, then you're missing one of these, and that will unlock the trophy for you. So that's cool. And then make sure we buy the map. If I remember, I think this is the second to last map we have to buy. All right, so there's that. And as far as loadout goes, feel free to put on the cog flies if you'd like. You can really start messing around with these tools, by the way, while we're fighting like the basic enemies. Figure out what you like the most. But I'm running everything that I would recommend except for the compass. I would probably put on like either the scuttle or the weighted belt at this point. But you know, I'm doing it so you guys can see where I'm at on the map. But yeah, make sure at this point you should have the enemies farmed up in that area, the maestro and the minister. You don't have to finish it right this second, but I would, you know, if you want, you know, go ahead and do that before leaving. There's going to be a lockdown that we do where you're going to probably get 2 or 3 of each of these guys. So, you know, you don't have to like perfectly finish it. But, you know, at this point, I would recommend farming those if you haven't already died a few times and gotten the entries that way. I'll probably do it when I come back to this area later in this chapter, and I'll probably do it for myself. But you can knock it out now if you wanted. All right, so you should have gotten the trophy, like I said, the transported one. Now, let's see. Let's go open up the shortcut. So hit that. That's going to take us down to that spot that I showed you before we came in, if you remember. So that just connects coral. So now we're going to come over here, and we're going to use the simple key that we picked up in our, what was it, 2 chapters ago maybe? Something like that. We picked it up in Putrefied Ducks. And this is going to give us a wild tool. You're going to hate it, but also love it. It's one of those, like if it didn't work the way it worked, it would be really cool. Anyways, break this ceiling right here. And then there's a secret room up here. I guess those are like the mini guys that we just fought, like. Alright, so we're going to that room, making sure Grendel's not in there. At this point, I don't know if Grendel's just like following me around or what. I'm really happy I got that on camera. Alright, so here's the last Drape Mite or whatever his name is. And that should complete your journal there on that guy. It's not like the most rare enemy, but it's certainly a rare one. I'd say the most exclusive enemies are the Wraiths in the Mist. Alright, so hit the door there as well, and then you can loot all of these beads. And then there's going to be a pale rosary necklace in that one. If only they were all like nice and tidy like that, instead of scattering everywhere. They are in that, like, you know, feel free to get them if you want. I felt like it was worth it, right? Yeah, all right. So come over to the left here. And it's gonna loop back around. And then now we can drop, let's see. Yeah, we're gonna go down. I would, yeah, whatever, I'll leave that bead. So break this off, and that's going to give you a new tool. The Rosary Cannon. Guys, this is a Rosary Cannon. Isn't that crazy? It shoots rosary beads. And I wonder where they're getting those rosary beads from. It certainly wouldn't be our inventory, would it, game? Oh, it is our inventory? Great. Great item. It's like the most rare item to get rosary beads. And they're like, what if we made a tool that just blows rosary beads? So I will show it to you really quick. If you equip it, you can, in this screen, you can hold to reload it, and that'll give you a couple. And then it works like... Wait, hang on. It's pretty crazy, actually. And no, you can't pick them back up, which would have been really nice, actually. But that's how that works. Feel free to use it if you are a psycho. All right, so now let's see. I also want to point out, don't go this way. By the way, don't go into that room, okay? Do not go in that room, guys. You're gonna ruin a lot of stuff if you go in that room. Don't do it, okay? So we're gonna head back to First Shrine. Don't go in that room. I know you're thinking about it. Just please don't. Unless you want to miss like two bosses? I think something like that. You can really ruin some stuff. If you do go in that room, quit out before beating the lockdown, okay? All right. So, let's see. How many beads do I actually have? No, I'm gonna save them. All right. I'm gonna buy the bell heart stuff this chapter. So come down here. Get some free beads while we're here. And let's see. I guess I will. I'm gonna turn in my my cylinder while I'm here. Might as well, right? I like how this dude snatches it out of my hand. Like, give me that. Alright, we're getting close on our cylinders. I think we have like 2 more. Alright, now let's go kill an old friend. It's been a while since we've done anything like menacing. So this door over here to the right, we opened it up in the last chapter by hitting the lever. If not, you'll have to go open that up via... Hello, buddy. You want to die? You do? Oh, wonderful. This guy has no idea how much powerful we are. How much stronger I am since I saw you in Greymore, buddy. Guy, you have no idea. Let's duel. Imagine I don't even fight him. I just let my minions do it. Like, that's how strong I am. I wonder how long it would take. This man saw me fight Morwing and was like, yeah, I think I can take him now. I kind of want to see what happens if they kill him. Are they even capable of killing him? I know that it's like the same as a hit that I do. I just don't know if I have enough of them to actually properly kill him. Oh, nope. Well, I bet I got close. Yeah, I mean, not bad, though. I mean, that one tool did pretty good. We didn't actually kill him. He's tougher than that. I mean, how embarrassing would that be if, like, you know what I mean? Like, the last time I saw him, we were weaklings. And now look at us. We have rosary cannons. And my boy probably picked that fight not realizing. Anyways, beat him in a duel, and that's going to set him up for later. And we're actually not going to do what it does, but we do want to set it up just to have his quest line progressed. And now we are going to go... Oh, lovely, to bilewater. It's time. Alright, so we are going to equip in place. We're going to put on the Wreath of Purity. And... yeah. Yep, that'll be good. Alright. So we're going to go to bilewater. Mainly because we need to progress to get a wish. And then also get the maps. Because the lockdown that I said don't go in that door in High Halls, that lockdown triggers the final melody, right? And also it sets up for that secret boss in that whole area. But if we do it and we don't progress a certain wish that we get in bilewater, then we don't get to meet Chakra, which also makes it to where we can't fight Chakra for the journal. So there's a lot of stuff going on in High Halls. There's a lot of different secret bosses that are tied to wishes, that are tied to items, that are tied to, you know, trophies and things. So if you really want the true 100%, this is how you have to do it. Some of it doesn't matter for the 100% on your player, but if you want to like say you've done everything in the game, it does matter. So yeah, anyways, Garamond, now that we fought him and dueled him, he would go to that lockdown and assist you in that lockdown. But we actually want Chakra to assist us in that lockdown. So in order to do that, we need to go to bilewater. Oh, I forgot. I haven't unlocked it. I'm over here looking for it. So go to Greymore. So what we're going to do here is we're going to buy the map off of her, which will give us a wish that we can then talk to her, and then we can go complete that wish, which will then allow her to assist us. So just a handful of things. But this is going to give us a fun experience with bilewater. We're going to basically do the lower half of it. But like I said earlier in my walkthrough, this is the worst area in the game. But, you know, I got you guys. I wouldn't make you do bilewater until we're ready to do it. And we are more than ready. We have our Wreath of Purity, guys. Bilewater's actually... I actually think Putrefied Ducks is worse than bilewater in terms of enemies. Bilewater's annoying because of the traps and stuff. But if you know what's coming, then it's not that bad. I don't know how I'm doing on enemies in this area, but I'll be farming them, I'm sure, at some point soon. Again, that's that green cell, what we freed him from, that green prince. Whoops, hang on, let's go up to the bench. Yeah. So if you remember, we're heading back to where we opened up bilewater and then... Whoa. Making it to that bench, whether this game wants me to or not. There we go. So do that. get our Silk Eater, which will get us max on our Silk Eaters. We can also talk to our NPC. We're going to be coming back and doing the delivery quest to him at some point in this chapter. But just rest at that bench so you have, that's the closest bench to where we're going. Probably gonna make today's video a little bit longer than normal. I just want to get us like set up on the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to bilewater. Now, just to be clear, we are not finishing bilewater. By no means am I trying to take on bilewater right now. We are simply here for a couple items and then that'll be it. So do not feel like we have to sit here and farm this. Don't even take it serious. Just get your bugs if you can, but we're not going to farm them. We'll do that in another video. So what we are going to do... See what I mean? There's just like traps, and the enemies are not that hard, actually. So come up here. Ugh. Give me my beads back. Now free this flea. All right, now we're gonna go bottom right into the cesspit, the cesspool here. Go all the way to the bottom right. Just try to be quick before our wreath breaks. The wreath kind of works like that, the magma thing. That it's like you have a certain amount of time that you can take the bile water, but it's usually enough time to do whatever you gotta do. But now we're in one of the last Weaver areas, and we can't get that door. There's some shards in here. So come to the left. There's also some lore right here as well if you wanted. But this is going to give us the Ruined Tool. And I want to stress this. This tool can be upgraded 3 different ways to the Silk Shot, 1, 2, or 3. You can only get one of them per playthrough. Now, you do not want the 1 or 2. You want the 3, okay? And that's going to happen in Mount Fae. Up at the very top where we got our Fae down cloak. It's going to be all the way at the very, very top of Mount Fae on the right side where that little like cave looking shape is, a little like horseshoe looking room. That's that secret bench that we unlocked. And there is now that we have this, we can upgrade that weapon in there. But if you go and give it to the Architect, or if you give it to the Forge Daughter in Deep Docks, you will actually build that tool in the 1 or 2 version. And then you won't be able to revert it to the number 3 version. So at this point, now that we have the Ruin Tool, just be very careful not to upgrade it at the Forge Daughter or at the Architect. So it's best just to kind of avoid them for now. We will, of course, go get the Silk Shot in probably the next video. But anyways, I just want to make sure you guys all understand that that is not something that, you know, that you can revert. So hit both of those, and then drop down to the right. There's a sign here we can read. And then This should open the thing now that we've done the sign and opened up the thing. Small area. Most of these weaver nests are small, but they're usually important. So again, try to be quick with the nest. God damn, just hit the enemy. Thank you. He was not wanting to get above that enemy. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did. I didn't try to dash. All right, I am back where I died, or excuse me, had a mishap. I didn't die. I think the game just kind of glitched for a second there. It was weird. Sometimes it does that where it makes it look like I died, but it's actually not. All right, there's a new enemy that's gonna start popping up. Feel free to kill him if you want. The only way I can really explain it is with your thread storm. But again, we're not really trying to finish this area. They're hard to kill, by the way, and you need a lot of them too. Oh my god! There we go. Oh my god. I need my bearings. Hold on. Yeah, okay, alright, cool. Sorry, I got turned around. We're going the right way, but I just want to make sure you guys understood what just happened there. So when I said feel free to kill that new enemy, this is where we jumped up. You can just go up and around, or you can go this way. Just make your way to the left, basically. That's all you got to worry about. Again, all these areas we're gonna get later. Actually, you know what? Let's go buy the map first. That way we don't waste time going back the same way again. Oh, dang it. Alright, so jump up here, go to the right, and this is where Chakra is going to be. Boom. So buy the map. Also, you might have seen me go up in that room that was like kind of hidden when I said you could go up and around on that, basically where that right angle is on the map. And it starts to go left, you know, once you go up the shaft, you go left, and then you end up kind of like below where I'm at right now. There's that horizontal room right below where my player is right now. That's like a secret room. That's where one of the warden flies with the cages would have captured you to take you to the slab. So if for some reason you like couldn't find another one to farm it or something, we've already farmed them in the slab, so you shouldn't have this problem. But that is the last location of it. I felt like maybe to mention that. I don't know, like at this point you probably shouldn't be worried about that, but if you are for some reason wanting to get captured and you've killed them all and you've been waiting to do the slab, you know that's the last one. Also, there's a little Easter egg that you guys might not know about, where later on we can get cursed in this game, and if you get cursed and then get captured by the cage, he'll actually die, and then like he won't want you, so he'll die, and the curse kills him instead. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, anyways, buy the map there, and that's going to be the final map that we have to buy from Chakra. So now that we've done that, we can go back and activate her wish. Whoops. Alright, let's go get a trophy. We're almost out of bilewater, I promise. For now. Let me through, guys. Let me through, please. I'm so close. I hate those guys. They don't die very easily either. Alright, all the way down to the bellway and the bench. So, last bench and bellway that we have to buy. And this, once you've activated the bellway, it should pop your next trophy. It's called Connected. A lot of stuff that's being finished in this video. So now you should have all of these bellways unlocked. If you're missing one, again, you know, backtrack and find that. But if you have all of the ones that you see on my screen, then you should have that trophy connected. And so now at this point, we've opened up every Ventrica station, every bellway. We've bought every map. Now, we don't own every map just yet, but we've bought all the maps from Chakra. So that's cool. Now we're going to head to Bellheart. Sorry, I clicked on Shellwood. Goodness. Bellheart is where we're wanting to go. Try to do everything quick. We still got a little bit I want to get through. Yeah, I don't know how much I can get done this chapter. I wrote down a lot more than I maybe should. Anyways, accept this wish right here. Trails End. It'll be here because now we've bought every map from Chakra. So do that. Yeah, alright, I'll wait till I'm done with the deliveries. So we've already done Bone Bottom. We have to do Queen's Egg and Pilgrim's Rest, and then that'll unlock another delivery later on that we will do. That's probably the hardest one, honestly. It goes to the Mount Fae, and so I'm gonna wait to upgrade that weapon in Mount Fae until we do that delivery. But we still need to get these two done at the very least. So let's do Queen's Egg first. Have the anklets on and have the Ascendant's grip on. And this is going to that Styx guy in Sinner's Road or whatever, kind of Greymore area. So head to the right here. Yeah, alright, so we're gonna keep going. You could go the other way if you wanted, but that's not smart. You have to go all the way through Sinner's Road like we did just a minute ago. Just watch out for the birds. And then we're gonna come this way. Doesn't matter, we're already there anyways. And give it to this guy. The Courier's Rasher that we did last chapter is much harder than the ones we're gonna do now. So don't rest at this bench because we can actually quit out and reload at the Bellheart bench. So go ahead and do that. Talk to him. And once you're ready, you can quit out and load back in Belheart. So I will see you once I get back to that part. All right, so we're back here. And now we have Pilgrim's Rest. Actually, hang on. I want to double check that we've done this song. Which ones have we done? I want to make sure. So we still have Songclave Delivery, Bone Bottom, Songclave. Okay. I gotta make sure I remember how to do this one. Yeah, okay, this one's the easy one. We fall all the way down. Kind of what we just did, except instead of going up, we go down now. Oh no. And then over here, we're going to drop down on the thing. Just watch out for any of the enemies and stuff. And then go to Pilgrim's Rest. We've been here plenty of times. Still, one of the biggest comments on the walkthrough is, you can break the door in Pilgrim's Rest. I know, but I'm not an asshole. I get probably 3 or 4 messages a day now at this point, letting me know that that door is able to be broken. So you can also take advantage of buying whatever's left in his shop so we don't have to return here. But if you did want to break it, you could jump and then you hit it and enough times and you'll break it. And then you won't have to spend money. But, you know, I just don't like breaking people's stuff, honestly. So now I'm going to save and quit, get back to Belheart. Okay, back here in Belheart again. And so these are going to be the repeatable ones. There is one more called Songclave Delivery. If you get it to pop up, do it. It just takes you back to Songclave. And so I'll show you the path you would go on if you do have it. It's kind of like refresh, reload, refresh, and eventually you'll get it. You could also go and try talking to the, the caretaker in Songclave, and that might trigger the quest as well. I'll get it done at some point before we finish Act 2, but if you do have it while you're doing these, then take advantage of that. The route you go is kind of tricky. I would say you go, what do we call it? You can go through Sinner's Road, like go Greymoor Sinner's Road like we just did, and instead of heading over to that Styx guy, you're going to go left, back to the exhaust organ, take the elevator back up through the cauldron area, and then you'll pop out at Grand Bellway, at which point you can just make your way up to the Songclave through the Whispering Vaults. So that's the way you should go on that one to make it as easy and fast as possible. It's not very difficult. You have plenty of time to do it. But yeah. Oh well. I'll do it in a minute. I'll do it like at some point before the next couple chapters. Let's go ahead and buy a couple items here. So we have plenty of delivery money now. So now I can go ahead. Let's buy a desk. This will make us professional. How much is it? 520. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna go for it. One bead. One singular bead short. All right. All right, so now you can choose the color of your home. I'm just gonna go with gold, because why not? I'm prestigious. We're going for the platinum trophy, but this walkthrough is the gold trophy for the completionist trophy. So we'll go with gold this time. We'll go blue when it's time to plat. Alright, so now once you've reset the world and stuff, there's going to be another thing that we are not going to get, but there is more upgrades for our home. So you'll see they started painting our home, but more importantly, we have a desk now. Instead of it's not just on the floor now, so we actually have a proper desk. So we've added the queen's egg from that delivery, and then you'll also be able to see all of our relics and cylinders. So it's professional now. We have lights, we have a desk, we have a bed. Pretty big stuff going on. And then once we come back eventually, our bell will be finished painting. Right now it's like half painted. Alright, so now let's see. How much time do we have? Alright, screw it. We're just going to go a long chapter today. We have to go back to bilewater because now I'm going to basically cheese something that you're supposed to get later, but we're going to do it now. So this is not about beating bilewater by any means. We are making a mad dash through bilewater. Don't worry about items. You know, we're only going to specifically pick up a couple items here. So I'm just going to call out some stuff. We have a mission of getting the flea, and we're going to meet Chakra. And that is it. Okay? Oh, and a memory locket. That'll allow us to finish multiple things. So I'm going to get a drink, and then we will run through bilewater. Okay, so we are going to first break a wall over here to the left. So right there, that just is a shortcut back to, back to the other areas. And so now what we're doing is we're just hauling ass here. Don't worry about killing. We're just running. Wait, we gotta go this way. So we're going on the map as far up as we can, and then we're gonna make the third right, it looks like. So just haul ass. I will call out when items are matter, but otherwise just follow my lead. Okay, cool. And we have the wreath equipped. Make sure you have the wreath. But come over here, come up. And this is where we met Chakra. I want to point out something though really quick. Once Shaq's gone, there's an enemy that's going to come back here eventually that we need to kill for the journal. And he only spawns once. So when we come back to bilewater later, I'm hoping that he's there. If not, we will force it. But just know that there's an enemy there to be kind of aware of because he's only there one time. We fought him once in Shellwood. You might remember he's the guy that had like beads wrapped all around him. So that's another spawn for him. We need 2 of the entries. Alright, we're gonna go up this tunnel here. These are some new enemies as well. Don't worry, they're very easy to get. There's a room that we're going to that's gonna like literally have like a ton of them. But we're not worried about farming enemies right now. We're worried about getting a couple items. Oh, come on. All right, now we're gonna go back to the left. All right, that's the hardest part right there in terms of not dying, because there's really nowhere to go. That's the problem. Now just be very careful, because if you die, like, that's gonna suck. You know what I mean? There's lore right here, by the way. You can play your needle in if you'd like to collect that lore. Let's see. This is where I'll probably get hit randomly, I imagine. Alright. Yeah. I don't want to die to this guy. I knew it. I knew it. They don't back away from you. They just follow you. Anyways, I'll get back to that part. Alright, I am back. Better than ever. Or not. Look, I'm just trying to get away from these guys. Alright, I think that did the trick. Ah! Just let me get away. Alright, we made it. Okay, so again on the map, I am right here. Okay, so drop all the way to the bottom right of that far end of that thing before it goes upward. And there's a breakable wall. And then you can drop down right here. And then go up. And there's another breakable wall right here, which is going to, thank God, lead us to a bench. Boom. Now break this wall right here, where we are going to get a memory locket out of, I guess, yeah, that one. Go ahead, free the other guy if you want. And that path goes the other way, so we do it this way so we can get the breakable wall. And then make sure you read the sign. And that's pretty much like the main items we're going to be looting. We have a flea, and then we have Chakra's quest. And that's all I'm worried about in this whole area. There's a lot more items. But we're going to get all those items once we come back to Bilewood. Or, yeah, Bilewaters properly. Right now we're just here for the bare bones of items. So now we're going to backtrack just one room for a flea, now that we've gotten away from our nemesis bush shrub people. Go back up the shaft here and back left. Anyways, right here is where we need to be. I'll show you in the map. Right here. So it's on the, basically the top left corner is the secret room. The bottom right is the breakable wall to go down to that bench. If that makes that a little bit easier to follow. We go ahead and free this flea, and that is our last flea of the world. So we are going to get the trophy in a little bit once we go talk to the troop. Let's see. Okay, now we're going up. And around, and then down. And then keep it moving and keep going this way. Some shards here. Oh, I almost had it. I just totally missed that one hit. I wish they would stop moving. Like, they keep, like, stopping right when I need them to keep going. Oh, these flies, I swear to God. It's like, just die or do what I need you to do. Dude, oh my God, you're ruining it. Thank you. So get these beads. Those flies are, they weren't working with me. So now we're, oh fuck, I forgot about that one. That's like the last, like, poisonous thing. I thought we were out of waters, but I guess not. Anyways, come over here. This is going to be kind of a sad scene. This is Chakra's, like, master, like her sensei or whatever. And she's been hunting for him. Well, she found him. Not much of a talker, you know? I'm just saying. It's like he's dead or something. Like, at least he could just be excited to see us. We came and found him across the world. Gosh. I think it's actually a lady, actually. But anyways, harmonize with Shaq. It gives a whole new context to her little song. It was her sensei's song. Beautiful. Alright, now we are here at an hour and a half. Great. I told you, today's going to be a little bit longer. Plus, I have more videos uploaded because today is Sunday. So if you're wondering, yes, I will be uploading more than one video today. So that is the trails in. Where is it? We just did it. Trails End. Make sure you've done that, okay? Trails End. That is the last requirement we needed. So basically what we've done is we've collected all the fleas now, which will set us up to finish the flea trophy. And also that sets us up for some more stuff later on that doesn't matter right this minute, but it is important to get it done before we go and do the finale for Act 2. So that's going to be big. And then Chakra is a side quest that we can actually interact with her in a special way in our next video. I'll just put it that way. But we have to have done Trails In, and we have to have bought all the maps from her in order to do that before we fight this last melody, or do the last melody. So we need to have all that complete. That's why I basically, I didn't want to like go all the way through bilewater because we'll do that afterwards. But we do need to get that quest done. So that's why we kind of made a mad dash to get to that thing. So now I'm going to save and quit back to that one bench, and then I will backtrack to the Bellway. Okay, that way I saved a little bit of time, and we don't have to go back through that like top corner. Guess I'll show this room now. This is the room where you can just farm these guys. So if you want, you can do that now. I'm going to do it once we actually like come back to Bilewood, or I keep wanting to say Bilewood. I get like Shellwood and Bilewater mixed up. I'm just going to call it Bile from this point forward. The old vile bile. Oh, I almost had it. That was clean though. Dude, I might hate these guys the most. You'll be hard pressed to find someone that doesn't hate these bush people as much as me. Alright, back here. Now we're done with bilewater for a little while. We are going to head back to... Let's see... Okay, yeah, let's go. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. There's something we never did, and it doesn't matter at all, but it does matter though. It does matter. I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter. It definitely matters. This is probably one of the most important things we've ever done. But head over to Coral Chambers. This is gonna knock out two things. It actually kind of worked out that we didn't do this, because it's gonna allow us to get an early start on another mission. So that's what I meant to do. This is like one of those happy accidents where it just ends up working out. So, hang on. We gotta go up. One more. So right here, this is important. You must witness the fight. And I'm not just like fucking around. This is like actually required for that secret boss. This is that sentinel that we freed with the cog heart. We have to witness this this dude fight multiple times in the world. There's 4 locations. You need a minimum of 2 of them. So while we're doing our little backtrack, it works out that we get to witness him fight. So now this is an area that I never actually showed. It's not really important, other than there's like a rosary bead at the end. And you can kill some enemies if you'd like. This is the proper official entrance to the slab. You know, not everybody gets arrested and taken to jail. They actually want to visit this place. So if you come up here, and that'll drop some rosary strings, and then you can just hit the lever. And now you'll be in the slab. So that's the only place we never actually like showed, I guess, is for the slab. But that's, if you were gonna do this game without getting arrested, that's the way you would do it. But you'd have to have done putrefied docks to get the key of apostate in order to actually access the slab. So it's a really roundabout way to go about the game, and it's actually not the intended path, but that is a way to do it. It's funny that the main gate is not the actual way that they expect you to do this. All right, so we've done that. Okay, so now we need to make our way to the fleas, which they are down. So make sure you witness the fight right there, and then make sure you've opened up the slab. And now we're gonna head back to that bellway. Right, or not bellway, but you know what I mean, the Ventrica station. We're gonna go drop down. One more. Yeah. Ooh, we got the journal entry, nice. Oh damn, he fell into the hole. That's crazy. I wonder if he'll be down here. Nope. So we're going back to the Grand Gate. And then out the left side, we're gonna go meet up with the fleas. So now all 30 fleas have made it. We're gonna talk to these guys in a specific order here. So first with Krat. And then feel free to up your entire silk if you'd like. Look at how much we've upgraded our silk since we first did this. We have like an entire second spool. We're one spool away from being done with all the what do you call it, spool shard fragments. All right, next speak to this guy. All right, and then this is the one that we rescued, Vogue. She was the one that we rescued in the last chapter, and so now she's here. All right. And now that we've done all that, we can talk to the caravan leader. That's going to give us an item and also a trophy, assuming that you've gotten all 30 fleas. Which if you followed this, you definitely have. So you'll know you're on the right track if they ask you to join. Also, I know I mentioned this in the last chapter, but that cave that we went to in Putrefied Docks, and I said you had to have, read the lore. You have to play the needling on the harp thing, and it gives you lore. That's the only way that this dialogue pops up, and then they'll ask to move there. So basically, we went and scouted out an area, and now he's going to be like, we're looking for our final resting place. Have you seen anywhere? And that's where we would let them know that we did, in fact, see something. And then he's going to ask us to join the caravan. So if you're not getting that dialogue option, even if you've gotten all 30 fleas, you need to go back to the Putrefied Cave and interact with that lore, and then come back and talk to him. So that's how that all works. But if you followed along, you'll be fine. I only keep saying these things because there's a lot of people that tune into these parts because they see that I made it to a certain area and then they want to watch the video, but they're not necessarily on the same page as everybody else. So it saves me from having to answer 20 comments about whatever. Alright, so he's going to give us the egg of Flelia. And then we're also going to get a trophy. So he'll upgrade our tool pouch first and foremost. And this is Fleatopia now. It's not the Putrefied Cave anymore. It is Fleatopia. So keep talking to him. And there's the egg of Flelia. I think that's everything. Alright, there we go. So what we just got item-wise is the egg of Flelia. It decreases the cost of silk skills while health is full. That is a rare item in this game. We also upgraded our tool pouch. Now we're 3 and 3 on that. So that's exciting. And let's see. You can talk to everybody if you haven't talked to them. But like we've already done their dialogue. But there is a couple new ones. No, I clicked on you, not the thing. Alright, also if sometimes the fleas will rest on the bench and you can just smack them and they'll get up. I've had that happen before. I like the big one. So then she doesn't have any more dialogue, but there is more dialogue to the right. Alright, so this guy's the depressed, lonely one. So make sure you come and talk to him. You might remember him from the very beginning. He said he was gonna like hide out inside the caravan the whole time. But now that they're home safe, he's actually good now. He's just like kind of watching the lake. And this is that harp item I was talking about. So if you're not getting that dialogue, you have to come here, which is right here on the map, and play your needling. And you'll get the dialogue, and then you can come talk to the fleas. And then to the right's the secret ending, like I was saying in the last chapter. But we'll get to all that. There is more stuff we have to do with the fleas. There's like mini games we can play with them that are tied to mission. I'll explain it when we get there. It's way too much to go into now, but just so you know, we're not done with the fleas. All right. So now we need to backtrack. You could have probably not rested at that bench and then save and quit back to, the Citadel bench or whatever. So that would have probably been the smart way to do this. But I wasn't thinking about that. Anyways, I'm gonna edit so we can save a little bit of time. I'll edit myself. I'm gonna head back to the Grand Bellway or something like that, and ultimately we are trying to get back to the first shrine. Okay, so I'll just edit myself back to the first shrine. But just to be clear, you unlock Fleafriend is the 3rd trophy that we've done this chapter. So I'll see you in the first shrine. All right, I am making my way to that. All I did was I went to Putrefied, I backtracked to the Bellway that's halfway, and then now we've traveled to the Grand Bellway, which allows us to now make our way to the first shrine. And I'm gonna speak to the what is it called? The main guy, the caretaker, just because that delivery mission for me was not popping up, the Songclave delivery one. If you had it, great. Don't worry about it. But I have still not had it pop up in this run, so I'm gonna just talk to him a couple times just to like maybe potentially make that work. All right, I've put it out into the universe now. But let's see. We're about to go finish up what we were working on. So let's see. We can go ahead and swap our loadout out now for the get rid of the wreath, and we can put back on our electrical if you'd like, or you know, pick whichever one at this point that you like the most. But yeah, that's that. And now, only since now we've actually hang on, I forgot I have a thing unlocked now. High halls. Okay, so only since now we've gotten Chakra's the Trails End wish complete, and we've bought all the maps. You should have the requirements now. So, just to be clear, over here we had dueled Garaman. Remember, we because this can be kind of confusing. So you might be having different results than what you're seeing me. So if you've done everything correctly, you should have. Before we entered this room, we backtracked to Songclave, where we went and fought and dueled Garaman. After that, he would spawn right here, and he would offer his assistance at the thing we're about to do. But we don't want Garaman to help us. We wanted Chakra, which is the even better version of this. But we still wanted to progress Garaman's quest, okay? So just because, like, he's over here doesn't mean that we haven't done it. Because we want Garaman to actually register in the journal. So you should, if you've done it correctly, you'll see that you have Garaman and Zaza in the journal now. And we're going to work on Chakra's journal entry in next chapter. But this is step one of getting her to do that. So, yeah, we're just going to talk to her. And this only happens if, you know, if you've done the Trails End. So request aid, yes. We're getting to that part of the game where I know it might be obvious to some people, but there's a lot of things that can now ruin the game. And so I'm going to try to do my best to just explain it easily, but I know there's people all over the place right now. It's not everybody's just flawlessly following along. And we're getting to the end game where things actually have consequences. But I think we all should be on the same page in the next 2 chapters, no matter what. And now we're going to fight a pretty challenging arena, but we have Chakra, and it's not too bad. She comes in after the first wave. If you know anime, this is kind of like the Naruto Pain fight, where we have all of our powers, and in the same way that when Naruto fought Pain, it was like the first time he actually got to like flex his Sage mode and his Toad, and then he has like the Nine-Tailed Fox, and then he has his normal shit. And it's like the first time he gets to go all in. So this is how I feel about this fight. Like, is my normal attack good? Oh no. Well then there's Chakra. Oh, is that not enough? I have a robot that can kill you. Is it still not enough for you? Because I can also electrocute you. See what I mean? Like, we're just so goated right now. All right, these are the big guys. You need these for the journal entry. There's this one, and then there's 2 more. Dude, I knew his moveset. All right, there's the first journal entry. Goodness, it's your turn, Chakra. Go for it. Dude, can we not all of them go for me, huh? My game, is that possible? Thank you, Chakra. All right, watch out. All right, there's one. Thank you, Chakra. Thank you, little robot. Thank you. All right, guys, pose. Just pose for... Okay, good job. Got the thumbnail? All right, so talk to Shaq. And then she'll be scared because she's still nervous. We make her nervous. At least my companion doesn't leave me until it dies brutally. So now come over here. And this will be our final melody. So prepare yourselves. The end is near. I would say that after next chapter and the one after, once we finish Act 2, you guys are not ready for the massive skill gap that is going to be upon you. See, a lot of people, it makes me sad, a lot of people are not even going to know there's an Act 3 of this game. It's not necessarily obvious, I would say. It's not obvious, but it's definitely not something that the average player, if you've never played a Souls-like game or a Metroidvania or Hollow Knight, you probably would just miss Act 3 entirely, and that's where the game really, to me, is like next level. Especially if you're going to do what we're doing, where we go for every ending. So exhaust the dialogue, and now you'll notice that our wish has been completed, all 3 of the melodies. So now it's just the playing the melody for that Citadel group. We are not going to do that this chapter, though. But that doing that will unlock the 4th trophy of this chapter, the Harmonious. That's just for playing the 3 songs, or learning them, I guess. Now we're going to head over to First Shrine, and we're going to accept another wish, which will set us up for next chapter. I don't know how our little robot guy gets there before us, but whatever. So you should have... Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Hold on. We gotta witness one more. I was like, wait a minute, hang on. It's right here. I wrote down in the wrong order. So come over to the left, and you'll witness a fight again. Which one of us is gonna kill it first? It's me. I'm better than you, Sentinel. Anyways, bye. So yeah, you have to witness her twice. I thought we'd already done that, but we witnessed her once. So now the final audience should be available. Yep, there we go. Final audience. Pick that up. And that is going to be everything I do. I'm going to talk to him one more time. What's up, Sherma? Alright, so I just double checked to make sure that it didn't trigger the thing. Talking to Sherman does not trigger the Songclave delivery, so I went and did it. That's why I cut right there. But anyways, we're going to rest up at the bench after picking up the final audience wish. So that's the last thing we've done. And from this point forward, what we're going to do is you'll see that our main mission is right there, and that will set us up for the end game. We need to now start working on all the remaining things. So we still have to do most of bilewater. That'll be what we do mostly next chapter. And then we have a handful of secret bosses that we've now set ourselves up for. So I would be careful if you're playing this in between parts. Be careful about going to secret boss locations. Like, I would stay out of Greymore maybe, because that's where Shaq's gonna be, and stuff. Like, so I wouldn't worry about anything in the High Halls area, the Forum, or Greymore. Anything else is fine at the moment. But yeah, we're basically going to be backtracking for secret bosses next chapter and progressing NPC quest lines, as well as doing the final deliveries and upgrading our tools. And then we're going to finish bilewater, and that should be chapter 19. And then chapter 20 is going to be entirely to getting every possible item, all the journal entries that we can for Act 2, and getting everything. I'll go over locations, the list. I'll have it very well organized for anyone that wants to follow along. So that'll be kind of what I designate chapter 20 as. And then that point forward, we can actually go and beat chapter 2, or yeah, Act 2, and then it'll probably be about 3 to 5 parts if I had to guess, depending on how fast I can get things done for Act 3. It's a lot of bosses, a lot of random ending stuff, obviously the final bosses, but you have to do multiple endings, so there's a lot of different ways of doing it, not to mention the secret ending, which is a gauntlet of enemies. So I think it's going to be about 3 to 5 parts if I had to guess. So we're looking at, I would say the lowest would be chapter 23 would be the end, but if not, chapter 25 is my guess. So that's kind of the tentative plan for now, but we are getting dangerously close. So I hope you guys are excited for the finale of Act 2. It's only going to get better and better as the game goes on. And also, here is a look at what we've got. We still have the ruin tool. Don't turn that into any of the merchants unless you want to ruin that. And we have a memory and 1 craft metal at this point. But as far as collectibles, all we have left are the spools and the mask shards. So that's a look. We have 2 more shards and 1 more spool. And then we have 1 more silk heart, which we will get at the end of Act 2. And that should be, if you can make sure you're caught up on the left part here. Make sure you have all the same things as me. And then you'll be caught up on the stuff that matters. All right. So anyways, I know this is a long chapter. I will see you guys in the next one. And I hope you guys enjoy this very long chapter. And good luck.